Victoria. Hi everyone, Oksana and Victoria here. Can you guess who is who? So we want to make this quick video about whether being sick is normal. So let's just wait for other people to tune in. Maybe do you want to invite some people?
No, just keep going. What's that?
Hi Nicole, hi Linda, hi Denise, hi Kristen. How are you guys? Happy holidays. So in this video, I want to talk about whether being sick is normal. So as humans, we're used to the norm, and the norm is lack of health, right, Victoria?
Mm-hmm.
So the norm is continue getting sicker over time until you trigger your genetics. And unfortunately, in Western medicine, when someone has thyroid issues, that they replace it with medication, and then they replace it with hormone, and we do nothing to stop autoimmune disease from progression. Isn't it strange that that's what we do in a society, in a culture? So if there's no thyroid left, they replace it with a hormone, but autoimmune disease doesn't go away when you do that. And as you guys tune in, feel free to say hello to us. Hi, Linda.
What's wrong with you?
I think it's this, my screen keeps freezing. So anyone who has an autoimmune disease knows that it continues to progress. It is like an engine that is running that attacks your thyroid, and then it keeps doing other stuff. So you have to deal with an autoimmune disease because it continues to cause problems unless you stop the progression.
Yeah, even if you're on medications, the disease is still there. Even sometimes people don't feel pain because of medicine, but the key is really to get rid of the autoimmune disease instead of suppressing it with medicine.
And also, for some reason, people might have a normal thyroid numbers, but they don't look happy. They don't feel happy.
They have all the
feel
symptoms.
good. They have all the symptoms, even though their numbers are normal. So when the thyroid is being attacked over time, what happens is that it will die. So if you are still inflamed, but the thyroid is not dead, you will be able to lower the dose of your medication and eliminate the medicine as long as you still have healthy tissue left. Does this make sense? So some people who come to us, they already have Hashimoto's for 20 years and there's no thyroid to speak of. So they still continue on their thyroid medication, but they no longer have the symptoms of the disease and they feel healthy.
Yeah, I've even had a client who they removed her thyroid. What's she?
So she had Hashimoto's, she had Graves' disease, and they removed her thyroid, and what happened is the whole body started attacking her stomach. And so one autoimmune disease progressed into another one, and that's what often happens.
If you don't get rid of it, you always most likely to get another one. That's why it's very common to have more than one autoimmune disease until you're fully healed.
Yeah.
So there's a difference between healing and being completely healed. So that's all. Okay, go on.
And lots of people ask us, well, I've been eating all these bad things for all of my life, and I was fine, but all of a sudden I'm sick. Why is that I can only have this to heal? Why did it take me so long to get sick? And I thought that this was a really good question, and the answer is that every time we eat things that are inflammatory, we are always causing damage to our bodies. It is just that your genetics will determine how quickly that takes a toll on you and in what way that takes a toll on you, as well as what else you eat, so as well as what other things you do. So for example, maybe you're eating inflammatory things once a week, and let's say that the rest of the week you eat everything right. So even though that causes some damage, your body will still be pretty healthy because your body can repair itself. And most people don't do that though. Most people who eat those foods that are inflammatory, that's all they're doing. They're causing damage time after time. And maybe they have a little salad with their burger. And then we have to look at what genes are to see what happens after. So for example, where's my screen spinning? I don't like this. I like the touch screen better. This laptop is not touchscreen. So do you guys have any questions about this so far?
So it really depends on your genetics, and your genetics will determine, you know, what will happen.
So, for example, the most common thing that kills people today is heart attacks. So, when we look at the development of heart attacks, we can see that for most kids, they have heart disease as early as 10 years old. And what I mean by heart disease is that they have plaques in their arteries by 10 years old, maybe as early as 8 years old. So blood pressure goes up by the time you're 10 years old. So now I go to check my blood pressure and it's low, and it's abnormally low. So it's abnormally healthy compared to other people my age. And it is because I have healthy arteries. So there's no plugs in the arteries. There's no resistance to the blood flow. So the blood pressure is going to be low, where most people my age, or even 10-year-olds, already have plugs in their arteries and they have a higher blood pressure, which changes the standard for what your doctors compare you to. So we're used to the norms, and the norm is continue to get sicker over time until you trigger your genetics. So you might not have a heart attack until you're 40, 50, 60, but if someone has an autoimmune disease, they're already sick in their 20s or maybe even 8-year-olds.
Yeah, we actually knew somebody who had autoimmune disease when she was 8 years old only. So it's just different. But autoimmune disease, it's a disease that young people get and adult gets. It's not an old person disease.
So the best thing you could do is always make sure that you're taking care of your health. So if you're healthy, you can eat some of the other things. But if you're already sick or you have a gene for an autoimmune disease, you can't do that. Aggressive illnesses do not respond to moderation. You know, there's a common phrase in society that tells you moderation won't kill you.
Yeah, everything moderation, but actually if you have autoimmune disease, moderation will kill you when you do things in moderation. So if you have illness like that, you have to do things very specific. It really depends how severe your symptoms are and how severe your disease is. That's why we get a lot of clients who come to us, they eat plant-based diet, for example, but they could be healing, but they're not fully healed. It's just because a lot of things can cause inflammation in their body, they just don't know.
Yeah, so aggressive illness do not respond to moderation, and aggressive illness will only respond to aggressive nutrition, which means that you only have to stick to eating good foods that will heal you and not be in moderation when you're already sick. So I hope this helps you.
Yeah, and so I also want to say it's definitely gonna take time to heal. Depends what you do on daily basis. So it's because some people feel better and then they go back to eating something that could cause inflammation. They kind of go backwards and they never fully heal. That's why it's really important to fully heal before you do anything else.
And Lena asked, I'm wondering, when you feed your body the right thing, does it naturally lose weight? Absolutely. So what we do in our program with our clients, we make sure that, of course, depending on the goal, we want to raise a person's metabolism. So your cells respond rapidly to changes. Once your cells respond rapidly and you fix that communication between cells, then you're able to lose weight a lot more easier. When you fix your metabolism, when you give your cells what they need, then the weight naturally drops off without you having to diet, without you having to do any type of fasting or in order to drop the weight. It's all about giving your cells the nutrients that they need so they can respond to changes and lose that extra weight that we need to lose.
Yeah, whatever changes you try to tell your body to do, if you raise your metabolism really high and, like you said, give your cells all they need, then they be able to just heal faster also as well. That's why we prepare to just eat as much as food as possible, like the right foods for you depending on your symptoms, so you can heal faster, so everything just happens at a faster rate compared to some people who do a lot of fastings. They do a lot of intermediate fastings because they try to feed all the calories in the short window, but it doesn't work.
Yeah, and I want to give an example. We had a client who had Hashimoto's, but she had a high metabolism. So when we gave her the nutrients for healing, she responded very rapidly. So in only 2 weeks, her antibodies that were attacking her thyroid went down by half, from 100 to 40 in only 2 weeks. But we also had a client who no longer had a thyroid. So she had removed her thyroid. So her body was not responding to nutrition as rapidly because she has slow metabolism. So that's why it really depends at what point you start at and how rapidly your body will respond to changes and how fast it can heal.
Also, exercising really helps to get the nutrients faster into your body. So when you exercise, it really helps to as well.
Yeah, that's why exercise sometimes often is part of a program as well, because when you increase your blood flow, it increases the nutrients into your cells. So that's what we want to focus on. All right, you guys have a happy holidays, and maybe we'll do another video next week. Let us know what you would like us to talk about. All right. Bye.